My freaking hair, bro. Cool. Yes, 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 yes. We live. We live. Gotta make sure Justin knows, bro. 2 weeks. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, yeah. What? That's the 1 minute alarm. It's the 1 minute alarm. Bro. How do we not love our bro, man? Did you hear that? Do you hear it? Uh-oh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. We got about 30 seconds before we go live, guys. 30 seconds before we go live. Oh my word. Bro, I am sweating my tail off, man. Woo. My uh-oh. 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 That is the 7 a.m. alarm. Oh my word. Mm-mm-mm. Come on now. Oh, it's a magical Monday, and you know what that means? Oh yeah, we're wearing the blue lens today, people. The blue lens of happiness. It's Monday, gratitude. It's a magical Monday, guys. And good morning, business builders, and welcome to Business for Breakfast, where business is the most important middle of the day. I'm your host, Aaron Novinger, the Venti Business Guy, otherwise known as VBG. Our goal in this show is to make you 1% smarter today by unpacking business news over the last 24 hours, sprinkle with tips and tricks to help you mind your own business. Now, I know you ain't here for me. You're here for the morning mark. I know you are. I know you are. I mean, we might as well just jump into it, shall we? Okay, good. Well, you guys know I need my glasses for this, right? But why? Because there's no props required, no drinks, no gear, just you and a functioning brain. We'll work with what we got. Wherever you are, desk, truck, kitchen, job site, standing or sitting, it don't matter. Pick one thing you will finish today. Not a list, not 10, not three, just one. Now, mark it mentally right here and write it down. That is the line in the sand. That's the thing the day doesn't get to erase. That's the pause that sharpens the edge, the moment that turns noise into signal. It's the tiny act that makes business owners dangerous in a good way. That, my friends, is your morning mark. Your day's officially started. All right, my beautiful peep, you drive, I dive. Buckle up, buttercup, and let's roll, shall we? Oh, okay. Now, are you guys ready for this day in history? Now, it's a magical Monday, which means you guys know it's been a couple weeks since AA Ron's been on. And I have to tell you, man, I had the worst case of COVID I've ever had in my entire life, bro. Like it was for 6 days, had 102 plus fever. Rebecca got it just a few days after I did. She was like 4 or 5 days behind me. She broke her fever, like 3 days ago. I broke my fever like a week ago, and it took all week long to get strength back. Like, as soon as like, I was just tore up last week, and so, I apologize for being gone the last couple weeks, man. Hey, Justin, my bro, how's everything sounding? And it's good to see you again, my friend. Know when I'm hanging out with my bro Justin, I don't know, man. It just makes the world better. So, but I am back, ready to go. And let's go. Sounds great. That's terrific. You guys ready for a little Josh video? I know you are. Okay, here we go. You guys know Magical Monday. We always got to start with a little Josh, Jawsh, my bro. Sometimes I get hit with copyright. It's not like I make any money on this channel anyway. But I just know, bro, like it gets me like ready to go for the day, and that's kind of fair, like you too, right? Okay, let's go.
You know what I've realized I've gotten older, dude, is like it's not that serious, dude. I kind of just decided a couple years ago, like I wasn't gonna have bad days anymore, and like, dude, for the most part, it kind of worked out. Like, dude, I'm just checking emails and doing stuff outside in the sun, catching some vitamin D. So, dude, life can be a beast if you just let it be, dog. Like, just chill out a little bit.
Chill out a little bit, bro. Oh, why, Josh? Why are you so amazing, bro? I'm gonna have to apologize. I still have a lot of this chest stuff. Nose is still runny, but man, 2 weeks without seeing you guys, I couldn't go any longer, man. I couldn't go any longer. And so, but you're gonna have to deal with a runny nose, a little congestion. But you know what? It's still Magical Monday, and we're still gonna have a great day today. Yeah, we are. All right. Shall we roll into this day in history? Okay. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, what happened this day in history? Oh, no, flippity flip way. Okay, history briefing, bro. Okay, here we go. This day in history, and you guys know we do the show live. So we're talking about Monday, April 13th. So obviously, this wasn't a Monday, probably not, but it was on April 13th. So what we're talking about happened on this day in history 1860, the launch of the first express mail. That's right, bro. The Pony Express began its journey earlier in the month. Today marks the completion of the first westward run from St. Joe, Missouri to Sacramento, California, man. This was a massive logistical feat of the mid 19th century, utilizing a relay system of riders to cut information delivery time down to just 10 days. Bro, is that not insane? You guys know that just 20 years before that was the founding of Antarctica? Mhm. Yeah. I mean, Tartaria, with a new name. Winkety wink. You all know what I'm talking about if you know what I'm talking about. This day in history, 1946, was the birth of the electronic computer for research. They called it the ENIAC. Around this time, the University of Pennsylvania's ENIAC Electronic Numerical Integrator and Computer. You know this thing, just the way it sounds. You know, this is probably like an old IBM machine, and this thing probably took up an entire floor, and it basically like had the compute power of like a TI calculator. Began transitioning from military ballistics calculations to more general scientific research. This was a monumental leap in digital architecture, proving that vacuum tube technology could handle the complex data processing that modern accounting firms rely on today. What? 1946, bro. 2026. So 60, 80 years ago this year. Oh my God, 46, 26. Wow. 80 years, man. We went from these big, like vacuum tube, like cathoids, to like this. Like, what? 80 years, man. 1974, Western Union launches West Star 1. This was the first commercial geostationary communications satellite launched by the US. What? What? Western Union launched the first satellite? Western Union. What? Revolutionized the technology of business by allowing high, long distance data and video transmission, a direct ancestor of the infrastructure that powers your business for breakfast streaming. What? What? No freaking way, bro. Like, Western Union. I only knew them about sending money. You guys know you go to Walmart, you send money, you go to Western Union. Like, duh. Freaking satellites, man. Did you know that? I didn't know that. You guys know our deal. If you laugh or you learn something, you guys to like and subscribe. We got a handshake agreement. All right, all right. That was our little handshake. When I do that, I wear a squeaky glove so that way it squeaks when we handshake. But anyway, it's a gentleman's agreement that we have. If you laugh or learn, you got to like and subscribe, right? All right, all right. What else happened this day in history? The birth of Thomas Jefferson, 1743, principal author of the Declaration of Freaking Independence and the third U.S. president. His legacy is the very legal and social fabric of the U.S. For someone pursuing a law degree. Dude, no way. Why'd they say law degree? I guess he maybe did a little bit of law stuff back in the day. Crazy. All right. This day in history, Jefferson Memorial dedication on the 200th anniversary of his birth. Dude was born 1743, 1843, 1943. President Franklin D. Roosevelt dedicated the memorial in Washington, D.C. This was a significant social milestone cementing Jefferson's role as the philosopher king of American democracy. Bro, shut up, bro. Shut up. 1953, today in history, CIA Director Alan Dulles launches Project MK Ultra, arguably one of the most dangerous psyops on the American people, using us basically as bait and fodder to do mind games, testing LSD, testing torture, psychology. Yes, supposedly went away, but lots and lots of people say that it's still going on, just rebranded and called different names. Yep, yep, still happening. And most of you guys know that it was JFK who wanted to basically disband the CIA because even back then in the 60s, they felt that they were too out of control. And it was actually, they fired Alan Dulles, and it was Dulles who started secretly meeting right before the assassination of our boy. That's right. Isn't that not crazy, bro? Now, nobody knows anything, says anything, but very, very weird. The guy definitely has a checkered past and a lot of social unrest around Alan Dulles. But the CIA officially launched its controversial mind control research program in 1953. Bro, 1861, Fort Sumter surrenders. What? Following the bombardment that began yesterday, Union forces officially surrendered the fort. This was the definitive military shift that launched the American Civil War, leading to an era of total reconstruction for the nation's economy and laws. What? Fort Sumter, like the beginning of the Civil War. Man, I didn't know that. I mean, I'm sure I learned that probably in fourth grade, but um, did you guys know that? Did you guys remember that? I've obviously known Fort Sumter, but I didn't know that was like the beginning of the American Civil War. That's crazy. All right. Famous birthdays today. We already said it. Thomas Jefferson, statesman, architect, and polymath, whose vision of the agrarian democracy influenced the expansion of the American frontier. Who else had a birthday today? F.W. Woolsworth, 1852, American entrepreneur who founded the Five and Dime store. You won't remember this. I don't remember this because Woolworths was already put out of business. But I'm just assuming that Walmart actually was a kind of an offshoot, or Sam Walton used Woolworth's model of the Five and Dime to kind of build upon for Walmart, a kind of just in time inventory. But his legacy is a masterclass in retail logistics and economies of scale, proving a business could thrive by selling high volumes of low cost goods, i.e., Walmart. Walmart was not the first Five and Dime; it was actually Woolworths, right? And so he kind of used that as his model to kind of build and grow. And remember, Walmart in the very beginning was really designed for those that lived out in the rural areas. It drove Sam Walton nuts that those that lived in the cities, because it was like lots of stores, there was lots of competition, so the prices were lower. And so he had this idea, which like today when you see like a Dollar General, that's what the old Walmart used to be like in the middle of nowhere. These like little Five and Dime stores, not very big, but he knew that if he could do a bunch of them, he could start buying down and start giving everyday low prices to those that lived out in the community, like out in the farmland, out in the rural areas, right? That was the basis of Walmart. Sam just wanted to give like everyday low prices to them out there because he felt they deserved it, and he used Woolworth as part of his model. Pretty cool, man. Samuel Beckett, 1906, the Nobel Prize winning Irish playwright and novelist known for Waiting for Godot. Waiting for Godot. I don't know how to pronounce that. His work explores the human condition through a minimalist lens, often mirroring the simplicity and discipline found in Stoic philosophy. Man, I did not know that. Did you? This day in history, ready for this? Freaking 1970, today, Apollo 13. Houston, we have a problem. Yes, bro. Today, late in the evening on April 13th, an oxygen tank exploded aboard Apollo 13 while the craft was freaking 200,000 miles from Earth. 200,000 miles from Earth, man. This began the most intense period of real time engineering and NASA history. If you guys watched that freaking movie, Apollo 13 with Tom Hanks, dude, um, bro, like absolutely amazing. And I'm pretty sure like Bill Paxton was in there. And didn't you see like the most famous line ever? Constellation, you run. I'm pretty sure that was Bill Paxton, Apollo 13. This dude had like the greatest one-liners in human history, man. Remember in Aliens? Game over, man. Game over. Like, dude, Bill Paxton, greatest one-liners ever. Constellation, you run. And they like released urine. It was like these little balls of pee that was kind of floating out. Constellation, you ride, bro. Apollo 13, man. Dude, that's insane. That happened on this day in history. What else happened, man? No freaking way, bro. No way. Shut up, dude. So, so this day in history, but 3 years. I never do these, but there's a asteroid called Apophis, and they're calling it. It's a future milestone, and it's supposed to be 3 years from today. That there is an asteroid 99942 called Apophis. It's scheduled to pass within 20,000 miles of Earth. It'd be the closest pass of an asteroid of this size in recorded history, providing a massive technological opportunity for planetary defense mapping. And I'm pretty sure because I think we've already seen it recently where there was an asteroid getting close and we had a satellite that basically shot and basically put it off on course. So I'm pretty sure that we kind of already have this a version of this satellite Iron Dome for interplanetary like debris or whatever. So it's going to be interesting to kind of see what happens if you guys hear about it. Oh, we were able to basically just shoot something off course. You guys know we got the tech, right? And you kind of have to think that we already have this tech. Like, we're not going to allow something like that to happen, you know? 1990, 1919, the Jallianwala Bagh massacre, a tragic turning point in the Indian independence movement, occurred when British troops opened fire on a crowd of non-violent protesters in Amritsar. Um, Amritsar. The event led to a massive global shift in the legal and social view of British colonial rule. Bro, I tell you what, man, the British, especially with Lloyds and Rothschilds and everything, have basically ruled the world because they've owned banking. And bro, like I don't agree with most of the stuff that's happening worldwide and economically, but the fact that we've kind of left the British Empire out of all this is kind of beautiful, man. Like I don't know why, but it's it just feels right that a lot of the world powers have been controlling for generations, centuries actually, um, are getting a new day. I don't know. I feel like 2026 is the year of the Great Awakening. Do you feel that? I feel that. You want to know what like the fun fact for today is? Yeah, bro, check it. Check it. Ready? It's National Scrabble Day. Yeah, did you hear that right? Freaking National Scrabble Day. Okay. So, um, it's also National Thomas Jefferson Day. So, check this, a game of words, and the man who wrote the most important words in American history, born on the same flippity flip day. If that is not a magical Monday, what the hell is, man? What is? Are you guys ready for some juicy news? Juicy news, juicy news. I know you are, Matt. I know you are. Okay, okay. All right, but we got some crazy stuff, man. Hold on to your coffee, bro. This is a huge Monday. Over the weekend, peace talks between the U.S. and Iran collapsed, and President, we always call him Mr. Orange Man, ordered a naval blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. Oil has surged back over $100 a barrel. Gas was already at an average of $4.16 a gallon and is now going higher. Consumer sentiment just hit a record low. March CPI showed inflation at nearly a 2-year high, and the latest data show new business applications dipping for the first time in months, man. Main Street, Venti Business, buckle up. Here are the top stories that matter most to our business this week. Are you ready? Well, let's start with number one, man. Mr. Orange Man ordered his blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. So, after weekend peace talks with Iran failed, President Trump ordered the U.S. Navy to blockade the Strait of Hormuz, critical waterway through which 20% of the world's oil and LNG passes. And you know, one of the largest LNG plants in the world is actually in Texas. We export so much freaking LNG, it's insane. And we could actually be doing a lot more, except to get that permit from the government is like winning the lottery. Yeah. And so, because they print so much money, it's like going back in the early 1800s when it was so cheap to start a refinery. Like it was just like that. That's the way LNG is. I mean, it costs billions, but they just print money, right? So I'm sure Uncle Sam always wants to get a piece of the pie. They always do. Iran says it will not allow the blockade. Oh my God, bro. Why is this such a big deal to us, man? You know what I'm saying? It's the single biggest threat to our operating costs right now, man. Shipping costs, fuel costs, raw material prices, all going to rise. Has been rising, going to continue to rise. If you depend on delivery, so you guys know, all of our mom and pop restaurants and all of our mom and pop like mechanics and garages, all of you get deliveries from distributors. All of you have already noticed the fuel delivery costs going up already. Okay, anything that has to be delivered to you, even if you go to the store and pick it up, you're going to see the prices increase. Everything that's stocked at O'Reilly's, everything that's stocked at Restaurant Depot, because even the trucks to get that stuff there, the shipping containers on the ocean, and because a lot of them have to go around, all of them are paying higher costs. And then once it gets to port, they got to put it on a truck and get it to the store where you pick it off the shelf. It is going up in price. Okay. So lock in your supplying pricing now, bro. And if you got a bunch of inventory, use it. Use it. Okay. And here's another thing. If you have to and you're seeing the price, please, for the love of Mary, increase your price accordingly. Okay. Put it on the line item. Say it's shipping costs, fuel costs, whatever. Put it on there. You already have the lowest profit margins of any business because you don't have economies of scale. Please mark up your inventory. Mark up the COGS, bro. Cost of goods. Mark it up. It is not okay that you guys already have razor thin profits and you basically lose all profit because you won't mark it up. Mark it up. And by the way, if you need help with this, reach out to us. Go to accountingplusaccountability.com. That's accountingplusaccountability.com. We're the only accounting firm on earth that actually builds custom cash flow plans for you guys, put you guys in peer advisory groups, and we actually spend as much time working on you profiting next month as we do documenting your transactions from last month. That's right. Only accounting firm on earth that does it. But it's also because we're not owned by accountants, we're owned by small business owners. That's right. I mean, we got screwed over years ago by a small business account and it destroyed us. Took us years and years to climb out of the hole. And so, I don't know, we just basically said, we can do this. We'll build a company for us. Right. So, I want you guys to understand, man, you're not alone. And we build custom cash flow plans every single day for you guys. And figuring out what your COGS are and how you need to allocate your cash flow. So that way you're still paying yourself what you should be paying yourself. You're still paying your taxes, putting money into profit. You got to do it all, man. You got to do it all. Okay. All right. Okay, cool. All right. What else is going on in the news today? We already discussed this, man. Gas prices, bro. $4.16 a gallon, and it's climbing. And you guys know we're in the Midwest, man, the lowest fuel price of the country. And so, us being in Texas, I'm seeing now. You have to understand, like, and I read this to you guys, like 1st of February, I was paying just a little over $2 a gallon. which I know already is like, "What? That's insane," right? Okay, but it's all relative, right? So now go to the gas, it's like between 350, 375. It's basically up 75%. So if normally you guys have like $5 gas, it's now up to like $8 gas, right? So all of you guys that are at 416, bro, like it's going to keep going higher, you know. And why it matters to us because the average American household spends 1,400 bucks a year on gas. Our customers are now spending more on fuel and less on everything else, especially like East and West Coast. Okay. So you have to understand, foot traffic is going to go down. Okay. So we've got to, as mom and pop service shops, we've got to double down on delivery, curbside, and online ordering options. We've got to take the product to the customer if we want to keep our volume up. Are you guys catching this? Okay. All right. All right. What else is going on? Consumer sentiment crashes to record low. Americans blame the Iran war, bro. Ooh, man. The thing is we don't talk politics unless it affects us mom pop venti shops. But man, I just got to be honest with you, man. Like, from an outsider looking in, and obviously we don't have all of the information, and we also know that whatever is told to us from legacy media is nothing but propaganda. We learned that from Mr. Scott Adams. Anything dealing with economy or government is literally always lies, and even if it's just lies of omission, right? It's all propaganda. So it's very difficult for us to tell which way is up and which way is down, what's really going on, because what we're told is, oh yeah, the Iranian people love this and they just can't wait. We don't know, man. That's what the news is telling us that they're saying. We don't know really what's going on. But I do know that these dudes had a backup plan for that exact day and time. And the thing is, man, this country is enormous, bigger than Texas, way bigger than Texas, way more people than Texas. A third of the population of the U.S. in a country bigger than Texas. Hmm. Yeah, bro. They don't play. But University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Index plunged to its lowest reading on record per Market Watch data released April 10th. Americans are souring on both current business conditions and their personal financial outlook. Inflation expectations are soaring. Why that matters to us, man. Customers feel poor, they spend less, even if the bank account hasn't changed. Remember, everything is based on our outlook. So when we think everything's positive and great, go back, 2 months before we decided to send in a nuke and kill the top 47 or 27 people of the Iranian regime. That's what started the whole thing, man. But this is a big psychological shift, man. We've got to, as business owners, again, consumers are focused more on value messaging. So everything that we do in marketing has got to be value based. Okay. Show exactly your customers where every dollar goes. If you increase their cost because of fuel, put that on the invoice. Show the customer where that's at. Okay. And by the way, if you guys have any questions about what it is that we do, go to accountingplusaccountability.com. We're the only accounting firm on earth with a 2x profit guarantee. We guarantee that in 12 months we will double your profits. But it's because, like, I don't know, like most of you guys understand, like there's always like this tension, right, between you and the accountant. And it's because the accountant's only job is to document your transactions from last month properly to make sure that you're by the book for the federal, state, and local revenue collecting agency. Right. But how does that help you run your business next month? It doesn't. We're the only ones that do that. And so, and we've been doing it for almost 60 years. So that's why we're the only accounting firm on earth that invest in our account managers. You have your own dedicated account manager whose role is to deliver monthly financials, give you some coaching, like a little pocket CFO. Our job, we spend just as much time in helping you next month profit actions from last month. Okay. What else is going on in done news today? I saw this thing on X Men, and I was really kind of blown away, bro. Harvard. This is a Harvard study. They studied 190,000 people for 40 years, and could not explain why ice cream eaters had a significantly lower risk of diabetes and heart disease. No, It's because freaking ice cream is God's literally frozen dessert milk. Okay. Like straight from the Father's teat. Okay. Is ice cream. Like, don't be offended by this. If you have ice cream, there's a reason why everybody that is lactose intolerant does not matter. They're still going to eat their ice cream, even though they know what's going to happen 30 minutes later, 20 to 30 minutes later. Just depends on the richness of that cream in the ice cream. Okay. And the funny thing is somebody who is a fellow sufferer can tell you who's got real ice cream and who does not. And let's be honest, we all know Chick-fil-A ain't got real ice cream. Okay, okay, trust me on that. They call it ice dream for a reason. Okay, but man, um, is it because like when you have ice cream, it basically satiates everything? Is it because it's got the protein? I don't even know, bro. Tell me in the comments why you that 40 years in and people that love ice cream significantly lower risk of diabetes and heart disease. Do not know, bro. Maybe it's because they'll save their sweets for ice cream. I do know that my dad had a major, major sweet tooth, bro. And when he was diabetic for years, had to take the pill. Once he went to insulin injections, he hated needles, man. And so he went to his doctor and was like, "Hey, how do I keep this from happening?" And the doctor was like, okay, well, you basically have to twice a day prick your finger. And if your blood sugar is under 100, you don't have to take your insulin." He's like, "Done." And Pops turned like Pops 6'6", always played like competitive basketball, younger, coached basketball. That activated his like competitive gene. This dude like was like, "Cool. I'm not going to prick myself with a needle, and so I'm going to make damn." So this dude went straight keto, bro. I'm talking no carbs, no sugar. So, and Pops always had a sweet tooth. So I would go, like, I'd go visit Pops, and not only does dude lose 100 pounds, bro, like thinnest and healthiest he ever was. And then, but I go to his house. I'm like, "Hey, Pops, you got any ice cream?" "Oh, I got ice cream. I got ice cream." And he'd be like, "Okay," but everything was like sugar free in the freezer. Okay, so he'd be like, "Okay, I'm going to tell you which ones to avoid and which ones to like." Right. So now, all sugar free ice cream when you're normally eating regular ice cream is all disgusting. Just want to make sure I put that out there. But there's different levels of disgusting. Okay. And so Pops would always be like, "Okay, the sherbet's great. You're gonna be fine." I was never a big sherbet guy though, you know. And then he goes, "Cookies and cream, you're golden." And by the way, I have to agree with him. Like the best sugar-free ice creams are always like cookies and cream. I don't know why, but it's like the one that I can stomach the easiest, the best. Tell me what you guys think also in the comments. Like your favorite sugar-free ice cream. But dude, when I saw this study, I was like, "Oh my god!" And you guys know, like Scott Adams was always so big on every day he would do like this story on coffee. You know what else is going on in the news today? Shut up, dude. Okay, so this is from Vern Harnish, which Vern is right here. Mastering the Rockefeller Habits. This book, bro, mind bending, mind bending. Okay. Here's Vern. What's the number one way to grow a business? Strengthen your customer base. Leader systems scaled from 50 million to 1 billion by focusing on helping their resellers grow and be profitable. Their purpose is to share what works. Amen. Bro, if you get up every day, and if you have a service-based business, it's so easy for us to do this, but get every day to help your customers suffer less and trust that the money's going to be there. Money's a byproduct of you helping a lot of people. Okay. Those that want to be rich never will be. Money only follows contribution. You guys get this, right? Okay. Vern Harnish, bro. Absolutely amazing. Mind bending book. It'll change your business for sure. And talking about here, a business went from 50 million to 1 billion by focusing on helping their resellers grow and be profitable. That's all we do here, man. Our only job is to help you succeed, which is why we have succeeded for almost 60 years. You come first, right? Our mantra literally since the beginning of the start of our company in 1968. The only way we'll be here 20 years from now is to make sure that you're still here 20 years from now. You come first, right? Businesses that tend to make that a priority, I don't know, man. They just tend to do really freaking well, bro. They just tend to do really, really well, right? You know what? By the way, I've got to give major props to a guy on X called Talent Stacking. It's in a little like picture of Scott Adams' head. And if you go to talentstacking.com, it's an index of Scott's 290 micro lessons, all on locals. Okay. So follow Talent Stack for daily lessons, wisdoms from Scott Adams, 1000%. As a matter of fact, I got to give major props to a local Scott Adams meetup group. So, um, Scott Adams passed away, and this is his coffee mug, okay? And so he would do his daily simultaneous sip with this coffee mug, and it's him sipping his picture, bald, everything. And he passed away January 13th of this year. Like I'm talking immediately around the world, these meetup groups that call themselves sippers started forming around the world to kind of like talk politics, talk, shop, and just kind of get a chance to get together. So yesterday was our not yesterday, that was Sunday. Saturday morning was our monthly meetup with the Scott Adams Sippers, and I'm telling you, man, like you just talk about a great group of individuals who also think differently. And I think that's probably why I love the group so much because you can ask open-ended questions and be comfortable throwing out an opinion and being challenged by others, but it's not a big deal because everybody feels very comfortable sharing with the mindset of being the ultimate truth wins, right? Not my idea, your idea, but the best idea that wins. And it was absolutely beautiful and amazing. And so anytime you can catch a Scott Adams, you guys know at the end of every one of our episodes, we do a Scott Adams reframe in honor of Scott. Last year he wrote his very last book, published it before he passed away, called How to Reframe Your Brain. You have no idea. My life has changed because of the reframes of Scott Adams. Systems over goals. My gosh, man. Alcohol is poison. And it's not that actually because I've been sober since 2010. But I used a version of that. My daily cold shower routine that I do, where I get in every day and remind myself how refreshing the water is, even though I hate cold water and hate being cold. You guys, I'm just telling you, man, like, dude, change your life, right? And so, major props to Talent Stacking for putting all 290 of those micro lessons all in one place. Amazing. What else is going on in the news today? How about a little something from our boy Tim Ferriss right here, man? Absolutely unequivocally top 5 best books I ever read. Bro, you can't even understand. It's difficult for you to see how many pages are earmarked. What is this one right here? Uh, Licensing ideas to others for royalties. Like, become an expert. Like, find manufacturing and products to resell. Like, tip the expert builder how to become a top expert in 4 weeks. Bro, this is dude, everything. The thing I love about Tim Ferriss is Tim is so big on eating. Like we always talk about eating your own home cooking. Everything that he writes about, he does first. He experiments on himself. So he won't talk about it unless he's doing it himself. That book absolutely just changed and broke my brain and how to process and get work done. Basically, the whole premise is, what if, doctor basically comes back and says, hey, you can only work 4 hours a week in your business. What would you do? How would you get everything done in 4 hours a week? And what it does is it forces you to start thinking about putting systems and people in place to help you run the day to day. It just broke my brain. Absolutely amazing. So anytime Tim Ferriss says something, I always take notice. And he says, whenever upset or anxious, ask why at least 3 times and put the answers down on paper. Describing these doubts in writing reduces their impact twofold. First, it's often the ambiguous nature of self doubt that hurts most. Defining and exploring it in writing demands clarity of thought, after which most concerns are found to be baseless. Second, recording these concerns seems to somehow remove them from your head. Getting it out of your head, you have to understand all of us have a plankton, like from SpongeBob. It's like, we will rule the world. And like, but in the head, that voice is so loud, it reverberates off of our brain, right? But when you get the dude out of your head and you write it down, you realize, wait a minute, he's like smaller than a grain of sand. Like, he has no power, but you got to write that shit down, man. You got to write it down, get it out of your brain and write it down. Turmoil is in the thoughts. Trust me. Trust me. Somebody that's a sufferer. And Tim Ferriss is also openly suffers from depression, openly discusses it. And again, it's why I love Tim Ferriss because anything that he's going through, he openly shares. It's what makes him so amazing is just his openness and clarity on the work that he does on himself. It's amazing. And trust me, that book will change your life. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. As a matter of fact, every one of these damn books will change your life. These are my top faves. Like I've read hundreds and hundreds of them. These are my faves right up here, man. And I talk about them every day too. What else is going on in the world wide web that is good for us mom and pop venti shops? Dickie Bush, bro. Dickie Bush. You got to go follow this dude on X, man. This dude is amazing. Writing on the internet is the single most effective habit for personal development. It's true, man. Like I don't do it enough. I'm trying to get into it and it's difficult, but he's 100% right. And not only that, like this show for me is like therapy. Like it's been 2 weeks since I've had the show because I had the worst case of like for the first week 102 plus fever for 6 days. Like I'm talking the sickest I've ever been. And then the week of recovery, I'm like probably 50% back. And I broke my fever um last Sunday, so like 8 days ago. It took me that long to recover, man, and I still have major congestion, runny nose, and so but Dickie's 100% right. Remember, you guys, we talk about every day. Routine is the key. Consistency sets you free. Routine is the key. Consistency sets you free. It's important, man. And the thing is there's just not a lot of people out there in what we do. Like, if you got a dry cleaner, dude, why don't you post crap about that? Like, there's always something that you can do to be talking about your business or industry. Always, okay. I always talk about like one of our customers has a driving school, 4 locations, and guy, he and his wife are just absolutely amazing, and they like post on their Google profile page like all of their graduates that graduate, these like 16-year-old kids, 15, 16-year-old kids that graduate from driver's ed. And it's just freaking amazing. And so, and they just get so much traction online with their Facebook and their posts and stuff. So just absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. What else is going on in the news today? Huh? What else, bro? What else? Huh, huh, huh. Oh, no, no, no way. Okay, 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 okay. All right. Let's see here. You know what's weird? Is like that's the this day in history, and it's like it's weird because I always have this thing saved, and for some reason it's not there, and that's okay, because I always have this stuff lined up. But ready for this? This is really, really freaking cool, man. Dan Martell, which you guys are a big fan of Dan, love the dude. And here's what he says: the world is run by C students, fired employees, people no smarter than you. Don't underestimate yourself. One of the most famous sayings, I remember Charlie Munger saying, this is probably 15 years ago when Elon Musk started kind of making news. Okay. 15, like the dude's basically been in news every day for like 15, 20 years. But this is like probably 15 years ago. And Charlie Munger says about Elon, never underestimate someone who overestimates themselves. Bam, mic drop, right? Like you see like people that just like have they just go through life with this mindset of like they've got this bubble of protection around them and they literally create their own reality, right? And you're like, how? Um like I'm just telling you, those individuals, Dan's 100% right, you know? It's those individuals. But so much of it, like I'll give you an example like with me. Major learning disability, dyslexic, and so I had to learn. It's of a form of synesthesia where I actually see images as like photographs, and so I can see things so crystal clear that they literally my subconscious does not know the image that I have if it's real or imagined, and it acts as though it's real. But I'm not the only one that had that. Henry Ford had that. Richard Branson had that. It's just individuals that have this weird thing in school. We didn't do well. As a matter of fact, I got the lowest SAT score of anybody in my entire senior class. And the only person that I know that actually scored lower than me by 5 points is Kevin Hart. He made like a 585, but he freaking drew pictures and answers like A, B, C, D, E, A, B, C, D, E, A, B, C, D, E. Like literally, that's how he did it. And he did 5 points lower than me. I went to all my SAT prep classes. I studied for a year for the SAT and made a 590. Yeah, trust me, my brain was not normal, man. And so it does me really well for where I'm at today. But man, my teens and 20s was absolute torture, torture. Because on top of that, I was obsessed with what people thought of me. Oh my God, bro. I'm so grateful, in 2018, I got set free of that through a deep, deep therapy session, bro, and totally changed my life, and set free after that of what people thought, and also set free of, investing in relationships where I gave 95% and the other party gave 5%. I made a conscious decision that I would stop being taken advantage of, knowing that a lot of those people I'll never speak to again. But the only reason we spoke was because of me. So it wasn't like they were actually caring. It was me caring about what they thought, not what they didn't care what I thought. You get it? Like it was insane for me. Justin Welsh, bro. This dude, absolutely amazing, man. Like Justin Welsh, he's like known as a solopreneur. He's got a great weekly newsletter. So go subscribe to this dude on X. He's amazing. Everyone says they want freedom and then design their lives around money, status, and approval. Oh my word. Let me say it again. Everyone says they want freedom and then they design their lives around money, status, and approval. You guys all know this. I used to be like this. The more stuff you own, the more the stuff owns you. The more stuff you own, the more the stuff owns you. I used to be like that, man. Before I got set free of what other people thought, I was the person that lived two doors down from my urologist. I was the guy that had all of the German automobiles in the driveway. I had the status, I had everything. And I was also trapped and enslaved. Got completely set free in 2010 of that element, of the status of what the crap buys you. It doesn't really buy anything. And the other problem is you judge others by that too, which is so freaking horrible, man. But from 2010, really got set free of being trapped by money and the status of money. And then 2018 got set free of the judgment of others. I mean, huge. I'm talking stuff, you know? So when Justin's talking about this, bro, he's right. And you know that he's got a $10 million business he runs basically by himself and his contractors. Yeah, bro. The dude not only talks the talk, bro walks the walk. Walks the walk. Okay. Like amazing. Okay. And so um let's talk about some more great stuff that's going on in the news today. Huh? I always thought like, huh? What else is going on in the news today? Let's go. Let's see. Let's see. So much, man. So much. Oh, 1 year after Liberation Day, small businesses still waiting for 151 billion in refunds. So remember how a year ago, the Supreme Court basically said that one of the particular tariffs was unconstitutional, and that Uncle Sam basically was to be issuing refunds for those companies that submitted it for 151 billion to be basically issued back as refunds. So, but check this: despite the promises, no refunds have been issued. So, but I told you guys this was going to happen. Like when this dude basically says, I'm going to do something, he's definitely the guy that basically says, you got to figure out the lily pads to step on to cross the pond. Like Okay, that one sunk a little bit. Let's find another lily pad to cross this pond. But we're gonna cross the pond. We're crossing the pond. Okay. So you have to understand, bro, like that dude was going to get it no matter what. And I always said, like, if they actually issued the refunds, don't be surprised if you get a bill down the road that says, oh, we basically reclassified that tariff. You owe this plus penalty and interest. Yeah, man. That is a loaded refund I would never touch with a 10-foot pole. Never. Okay. Uh, but the bottom line is if your business paid tariff under the IEEPA authority, you do have legal right for a refund. Okay. So make sure you guys document all the tariff payments you made in 2025 and 2026. Okay. And also, like, if you're like one of those, you know what, I'm going to roll the dice. Cool. Talk to your customs broker, talk to a trade attorney. The money is there, it's sitting in government accounts. But, we've just got to go out and go get it. Okay. What else is going on in the news today? Huh? Check this, man. SBA, okay, um, offers urgent drought relief loans to Colorado small business, but the deadline's today. Okay, so like SBA reminded Colorado small business and private nonprofits affected by ongoing drought that today's the deadline to apply for the low interest federal disaster loans to offset economic losses from the disaster declared last year. These are the EIDL loans. Remember, these are amazing because it's 4% interest and amazing terms. So, but that's also kind of a good segue for you guys as well, because yes, we are a back office, like small business, like back office company with a focus on accounting. But man, we spend half of our time doing paperwork for you guys, ministerial, administrative paperwork. That's what we do. So a lot of times you guys don't do this stuff because you're like, when do I have time to do this? I just don't. So mom and pop venti shops are always the last ones to take advantage of anything because it's up to you to do the paperwork. And who the hell's got time for that? We do. So if you guys has questions about this stuff, you want to talk about this, go to accounting plus accountability.com. That's accounting plus accountability.com. And you can check out and you'll see in the upper right hand corner is like this little gold button that says talk with Aaron. That's me. So click that. We'll talk about anything you guys want to talk about. We'll talk about strategy, consulting. We'll talk about a business idea that you've got. You've been stuck for 3 years. You don't know how to get to the next level, whatever it is. We got you. Okay. Let's see. What else is going on in the news today? Let's see. All right. Oh, check this, man. So, Skip launches $10,000 spring 2026 grants for small business owners. Deadline is the end of the week. So, Skip announced two $10,000 grants, one open to all, one for Skip Plus Pro members for US based entrepreneurs. Applications are due April 17th. It's for equipment, marketing, supplies, growth needs. So if you like need some like non-dilutive cash to take care of like inventory, restock storefronts, boosting sales without having to worry about this big overhead. This could literally be something for you guys. Really, really cool. Okay. Something that Illinois is doing, which is really, really awesome. Okay. Illinois is pushing for small business financing transparency to stop predatory lending. You guys understand, like, um, loan sharking's been going on since the beginning of time. Not really with the payday loans, like those guys are capped for sure, but they can still charge outrageous interest. But credit card companies, the cash advance loans, PayPal advance loans, I mean, those guys will charge like a flat 15% rather than compounding. It's like a flat interest, but they'll take like 30% of your revenue to pay that thing back. So it's like an immediate 30% cut in revenue to pay back, but even though the loan itself is decent terms. And so like Illinois is like, man, we got to stop this. We can't keep making our money off the backs of the mom and pops. We just can't. It's not okay, guys. It's not. Lawmakers and advocates are urging the Financing Transparency Act, requiring clear and merchant cash advances to protect owners from hidden high costs. And okay, that's okay. But the problem is that the businesses that take advantage of that are the ones that can only qualify for that. The issue is not that you're more disclosure of them being taken advantage of. The issue is you have to cap how much they're being taken advantage of. Like Trump was talking about the 10% credit card cap. Yes. Exactly. Like, okay, great. You now have a page that's got APR this big. Who the crap cares? Because the businesses that could take advantage of like that, it's because that's all they can get. So stop with the disclosure crap and cap how much they're allowed to take advantage of people. That, Illinois, is what you need to be focusing on, not bigger font for the disclosures. So you're heading in the right direction. And you know what this sounds like? This sounds like politicians who are stirring up news to make news, who love to talk about how we do all this for the people, but don't actually do anything for the people. Because the people that put the politicians in place are the ones with the money, and they're the ones that say, try this and see if you get elected again. Try it and see if you get the funding for the next election. Try it. Yeah. We all know politicians are the lowest person on the totem pole. They're the puppets being directed by the people of power and the billionaires, just like this. We've known it. This is not anything new. We all know it. We know that it's always a game of the have or the have nots. All laws are put in place for us, working class, blue collar. We all know that those that are up there on the castle on the hill play by different rules and they have different standards, and they're held accountable different than we are. We know it's been like that since the beginning of time. What are we going to do? Complain about it? No, we just have to deal with it, man. We just have to deal with it. What else is going on in the news today? Let's see here. Wow. My boy Justin Welsh again. A great measure of personal success is how many people thank you for theirs. Come on, Mr. Welsh. What? I mean, but this goes back to the old saying, like those that want to be rich never will be. Money only follows contribution. The more customers that you have that enjoy your service, the wealthier you become. It's not the other way around. If you focus on the money, you're not focusing on delivering the best product or service to your customer, helping that individual suffer less. When your mindset goes to that of helping them suffer less, and like a ministry mindset, and then you build a good little team, like an executive council. And it's a good plug for us because we're the only accounting firm on earth that has peer advisory groups. All of our clients are assigned peer advisory groups. It's like your own board of directors. You get more done in 10 to 12 weeks in a peer advisory group than you will 5 years before. They give you clarity, they hold you accountable, and most importantly, they help you minimize mistakes, especially the ones that cost you money. So, what Mr. Welsh is talking about here is how many customers thank you for what you do. You know by how busy you are. It's true. It's true. Okay. So the dude always spits fire. Boy, I earmarked so much crap from this dude in like the last week or so. The most dangerous financial plan is a single salary, a big mortgage, and the hope that nothing goes wrong. Oh my God, bro. You have no idea how many friends I have who literally like they make six figs, spouse does well too, and they are literally paycheck to paycheck. They might put a little bit in savings, maybe a little bit in that retirement account, but they got nothing and petrified, especially dudes losing their job because a guy's identity is in what they do. And dude, like they just live in a state of anxiety because if they lose their job, what are they going to do? They don't have enough savings to make it more than maybe a month or two. And so, like, I just love Justin because the dude just pushes being a solopreneur. Do a side hustle. You guys know that every Tuesday, is Tactical Tuesday, and I build you guys a service-based business with for under $1,000, and you'll be generating good money within 90 days. Every single Tuesday, I do this. Why? These are side hustles you guys can start easily under a grand. So go pay attention. You guys will really, really dig it. Justin's 100% right. Let's see what else is going on in the news today. Let's see. Um, oh man, Mark Randolph reposted from Farza. Great follow on X. Farza said, I rather take 1,000 shots where I try something new and fall on my face in front of everyone versus the guy that has 1,000 ideas and never goes after any of them. Bro, you have no idea. Like one of my closest friends, his family, whole life, always the guys always saying, I had that idea, damn it. They took my idea. And you're like, bro, Are you insane? Like, everybody has ideas. Ideas are as plentiful and as useless as a grain of sand on a beach. Everybody has them, like buttholes. Everybody has them. It's the one that says, "Okay, I have no idea how this is supposed to happen, but I'm willing to try. Let's see what happens, man. I'm probably gonna fail, but let's see what happens." Right? That person, that's who society rewards right there. And Mark Randolph, this is my favorite type of person. 100%, bro. 100%. Like, the failure part, you gotta have like Thomas Edison, bro. Like, every time he failed on a light bulb, he's like, "Okay, yeah, but I just got one step closer because now I know it doesn't work that way." Like, I know this is gonna work, and we gotta keep trying until we figure it out. Right? And it's like when you have the mindset of like Explorer Cortez, when you land on the idea and then you order your men to burn the ships, either we conquer or we get conquered, but there is no retreat. Yeah, bro, no retreat. When that's your mindset, watch the hell out for you, man. The universe starts parting for you. For all of you guys are like, oh my God, I got this idea. I want to be rich. I want to be skinny. I want to blah, blah, blah. All that crap. Yeah. Universe doesn't do anything for you. Nothing. Everybody wants that crap. When you've decided, when you've burned your ships and it's either conquer or be conqueror, you hear me say all the time, D or C, like this will happen unless I'm dead or in a coma. Like, will happen unless I'm dead or in a coma. That's what I'm talking about, bro. Your mindset has to be that, and the universe starts shifting for you, bro. Starts shifting for you. Okay. Bro, I saw this is a couple weeks ago. You guys remember this? This was like Maryland's coach, Brenda Frese, was chewing out nose to nose her star player Aluchi Akanawa. And bro, I'm telling you, she was like yelling in her face, on her chest, bro. And Dickie Bush reposted, he said, mediocre players would complain about this type of coaching, by the way. Lessons. Yeah, bro. Are you the type that can get somebody poke you? Because when you understand the coaches only ride the players, I see the most potential in you, moron. When your boss is riding your ass, you millennials and you Gen Zs who always get your feelings hurt, it's because they see potential in you, moron. I swear to God, it's been a while. It's been a while since I freaking wore the scarlet letter M. Stop being morons. When your boss, when your manager rides your ass, it's because they see potential in you. Stop getting your ass offended. Thank them. I could tell you guys a story. I call him Pops number two for me, Buddy Pilgrim. All this right here, all him. Arguably, I mean, when I say Pops number two, behind my dad, second most influential person in my life. And years ago, and most of his career, executive coaching, and I'm talking like high dollar executive coaching. Like big companies would bring him in to do, 500 million a year in revenue or more, and bring him in for interim CEO coaching to train the new CEO, like that level. And years ago, this is probably, I don't know, like 7, 8 years ago. Um, always been a strategic advisor. He's just one of those guys that I never take advantage of that friendship that I have with him. So I don't. So if I reach out, it's very selective because I never want him ever feeling like I don't value our relationship. And I went to him one time. I said, "Hey, would you mind doing like CEO coaching?" He never replied back to me. And then this is like, yeah, probably like 6, 7 years ago. And we're going through a really, really tough time of the business. There was an internal coup going on. We had no records. They were stealing all the paper records. And I didn't know which way was up. Money was just leaving the account. It was a horrible, horrible time. And I basically was trying to get all of our team members to get a picture done so we could load up their profile picture for their team's profile pic. And they weren't doing it. And by the way, if you know anything about accountants, they're just buttholes. Okay. Like, and usually the better the accountant, the more of a butthole they are. And they were just like, no, not. I'm like, oh my God. And I just went off on them on a staff meeting. And Buddy sent me the biggest ass chew text message I've ever got. And it was like this long, bro. War and Peace. I'm so ashamed. I'm helping you, blah, blah, and just laid into me, just like the Maryland coach Brenda Frese did to her star player Aluchi. Okay. And so, and I was offended, bro. And now I've learned years and years and years ago that when I'm emotional and worked up, do not respond under any circumstance. That I just learned because it always goes bad. And so I didn't respond. And then a couple days later, like by the way, I did a response, but I didn't send it. Okay. And then a couple days later, I went back to my response and was like, "Are you an idiot? Delete it all." And then my spirit reminded me, "Hey, idiot. Hey, moron. Hey, moron. Remember how you asked Buddy Pilgrim for CEO coaching? What the hell do you think his text message was? CEO coaching. Oh my God. You're right. I was praying and asking for exactly what he did. The player only rides, the coach only rides the player they see the most potential in. He was riding me because he wanted to help me be better. But everybody's so offended. Everybody gets offended. Bro, it's not okay. You know, the younger generation never went through trauma, so everything's a version of PTSD for them. You know, I don't like the way that you talk to me. This is my truth. What the hell are you talking about, bro? Nobody wants to pour into you because you get offended by everything. It's the most offensive, offended generations. So you can't talk to them. You can't. The way the Maryland coach is, Brenda Frese, yes, we need you, girl. We need more of you. And who cares about the players that get offended? And let me also give you a little heated warning here. If you've got a manager or a coach, somebody in your life you think is a coach, and all of a sudden they stop pouring into you, that's the scariest place to be. They're not leaving you alone because you've earned it. They're leaving you alone because they no longer see potential in you. They remove their hand of blessing. Yeah, it's the scariest place to be. The best place to be is constantly getting your ass ridden by your boss, manager, your coach, right? And your job is to shut your mouth and say, thank you. Marcus Aurelius, amore fati, right? Love your fate. I want more of it. Beg for more of it. Not, I don't want it. I want more of it. More, please. Because I know they're pouring into me, investing in me to make me better. Yep. That's actually what's happening. But you can't see it if you think that the world is offensive to you. Yes. Would you guys like right before well actually, let's jump into, shall we? Well, first of all, what'd you guys think of Magical Monday? Bro, it's been a couple weeks, man. It's been a couple weeks, okay? But you guys know it's Magical Monday, and you guys know we're gonna get some dad jokes in here. All right, now I'm gonna give you three, and your job in the comments, tell me the one you like the most, okay? Why don't scientists trust atoms? Bro, they make everything up. Yes, dude. Yes. They make up everything. They're liars, bro. Atoms. Okay, I know that was stupid. I just know it was. Okay. What do you call a factory that makes okay products? Oh my god, this might be my favorite. A satisfactory. A satisfactory. A freaking satisfactory. I asked my dog what 2 minus 2 is. Bro said nothing. It's so hard because I still have so much congestion. Tell me your best, bro. Tell me your best. Which one did you like? For me, gold medal. What do you call a factory that makes okay products? A satisfactory. And then let's see, silver. Why don't scientists trust atoms? Because they make up everything. I think that's going to be silver and bronze. I asked my dog what 2 minus 2 is, and the bro said nothing. That's bronze, bro. What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments. Now, you guys ready for our Scott Adams reframe? Every day we do a reframe. And reframes are designed to not make a lot of sense, but when they hit, they hit. And we're talking about opening the door to the subconscious. Like, remember the Wizard of Oz? You got that big door, and Dorothy and everybody gets to the door, beats on the door. This little hole opens up. It's like this like munchkin dude who's like guarding the door. He's got like green hair and crap, or red hair with green outfit. And he's like, "What do you want?" And it's like, I want, like, when you see the wizard, you're not getting in, like that's your subconscious door. So reframes, not all of them, but some of them will actually, like, when you say this, the subconscious says, what? I like it, and it'll open the door and let it in. Okay. You guys know I talk about this all the time. How I take cold showers and tell myself every day how refreshing it is. That's a reframe I had to learn a few years in. And it doesn't make sense why it works. It just works. And I've used it every single day for usual frame. I should follow my passion, but passion is the result, not the starting point. Something useful first. How do you know what you're freaking? I tell you what, I'm so pissed at myself because I used to tell my freaking kids, do what you're passionate about. All of us freaking Gen Xers told our moron millennial and Gen Z kids, go do what you're passionate about. So now you have millennials like, okay, and actually they work. Then you have these Gen Zers like, unless I'm a social media guy like Logan Ball, I have no purpose, you know. And they're like the most depressed generation on earth. And they talk about the purpose crisis we've never seen in human history between millennials and Gen Z. People just get up and they're all about dopamine releases and which we always call right cake, swiping right, swiping up, social media, right? Little dopamine releases. Purpose is steak. Pleasure is the rice cake. You get this, right? Following your passion is the most dangerous career advice ever given. Scott Adams argues that passion is not something you discover on a mountaintop. It's the feeling you get after you become competent at something. And this is what I tell everybody, man, especially the young guys. I so much like respect for my son. The dude's like a assistant superintendent for construction, and he's like on a career path. And he's like, I want to do this for 20 years. Like, I want to do this as my career. He wants to keep working his way up, keep learning the skill and the trade, getting really damn good at it. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. How do you like what I do here? I can only do this because I've been doing this type of thing for years and years and years, and now like it comes like I get it. Okay, like you guys can tell. I don't just talk the talk, I walk the walk. Everything that I talk about, we do. You can tell by listening to me. Okay, nobody's passionate about something they are bad at. You don't fall in love with what we do at accounting until you're good enough at it to help other people, and where a lot of this stuff becomes like muscle memory, right? You don't love sales until you close enough deals to feel the rush. The people who tell you to follow your passion already found theirs by working hard enough to get good first. Stop waiting to find your passion. Start investing and getting better at the thing right in front of you. Then the passion follows. Passion follows. Trust that you're where you're at because that's where the Creator Almighty wants you. You're where you're supposed to be. Everything's been engineered and orchestrated for where you're at right now. Lean into it. Lean into it. What do you guys think, man? I mean, did you guys enjoy today? It's been a couple weeks, man. Sick as a dog. I was so excited about jumping back in, but you guys know, man, if you need any assistance in what we do, go to accountingplusaccountability.com. We're the only accounting firm on earth with a 2x profit guarantee. We're the only accounting firm on earth that has account managers dedicated to you, like little pocket CFOs, partnering with you every month, coaching you, do this better next month, that type of thing. And we're the only accounting firm on earth that puts our clients in assigned peer advisory groups. Basically, it's your own like personal board of directors, your own personal executive council. Yes, yes. You need help? We got you covered. You have questions, go to accountingplusaccountability.com. A little gold button up there says talk with AA Ron. It links directly to my schedule. Scroll down a little bit. There's a place to ask a question. But man, what do you guys think? That wraps up another episode of Business for Breakfast. Remember, guys, everything we talk about here, if you think it's hard or you think it's easy, you're right. Okay. Don't just work in your business. Make sure you guys mind your own business. All right, my beautiful peeps, you got the news, you got the tips and tricks. Now go own this day. My name is Aaron Novinger, the Venti Business Guy, and you guys know what time it is. What time is it? Oh, come on, man. It's time to get to work. Come on. Bam.